ये Yes, my name is Sushant Trivedi, and we are discussing a topic of modern history named Arrival of European Companies in India. This topic is important for both CBSE and ICSE board. So let's start arrival of European companies in India. Okay. So first of all, I would like to inform you that what was the main reason for European companies' arrival of India? Uh, because there was a dominance of Ottoman Empire in full swing in 15th century, and they blocked the land routes of European countries to Eastern countries. So sea route was the only way by which they can enter into Eastern countries. On 1492 or 93, Treaty of Tordesillas occurred, in which Spain and Portugal countries have decided to invent various countries for trading. In this treaty, it was decided that Spain would search in western areas, and Portugal would search in eastern areas. Okay, so let's start our topic. So, arrival of European trading companies in India. First of all, we would discuss year of establishment of companies coming to India. So, first company that came to India was Portuguese that arrived in 1498, and Vasco da Gama was the first person who came to India at Calicut port. English East India Company was established on 1600. Dutch East India Company was established on 1602. Danish East India Company was established in 1616, and French East India Company was established in 1664, and the last East India Company was Swedish, that was in 1731. So we will discuss about Portuguese and English East India Company in brief. So let's start Portuguese East India Company. Okay. So Portuguese. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached Calicut port on the west coast of India. Vasco da Gama was assisted by Gujarati guide Abdul Mazid in this journey. He was welcomed by the then ruler of Calicut, Zamorin, and in 1503, the Portuguese established the first factory in Cochin. So here I would like to inform you that Vasco da Gama had to take 90 days in completing his journey. So he has to take 90 days in completing journey. या हम ये कहें कि 90 दिन उसको अपनी यात्रा पूरा करने में लग गए. वहाँ का जो तत्कालीन शासक था कालीकट का जमोरिन, उसने उसका स्वागत किया. लेकिन अरब जो व्यापारी थे उसको उनको अच्छा नहीं लगा, क्योंकि उनको अब ये लगने लगा कि हमारा कोई कॉम्पिटिटर जो है वो यहाँ पर आ गया है. इन 1503 द पोर्टुगीज एस्टैब्लिश द फर्स्ट फैक्ट्री इन कोचीन. तो 1503 में पुर्तगालियों ने अपनी पहली फैक्ट्री कोचीन में एस्टैब्लिश की. In 1505, Francisco de Almeida became the first Portuguese viceroy in India. So this question was asked various times in different exams, that who was the first Portuguese viceroy in India. So Francisco de Almeida was the first Portuguese viceroy in India who became viceroy in 1505. He also adopted blue water policy, in which cartage system was implemented, and whoever want to trade in Arabian countries had to take cartage system for Portuguese, है ना. He conquered Deep from the ruler of Gujarat. मतलब उसने गुजरात के जो शासक थे उससे द्वीप को भी लेने का प्रयास किया, और द्वीप को जब उसने ले लिया तब इंडियन ओशन में या अरेबियन सी में पुर्तगालियों की जो स्थिति थी वो काफ़ी अच्छी बन गई. ओके. सो अगली हम लोग शेड को करते हैं. ये पोर्टुगीज़ फ्लैग है, और पोर्टुगीज़ फ्लैग बेसिकली ये उस समय काफ़ी फेमस था, और इसी तरीके का फ्लैग जो है वो उनकी जो कॉलोनीज थी उस पर काफ़ी बना रहता था. ठीक है. ये इनका way है. By this way, Vasco da Gama came to India. He reached St. Helena Bay at Mossel Bay in Natal, then from Natal to Mombasa and Mombasa to Calicut. So Calicut is in Kerala, and this is the main center where he welcomed by the then ruler Zamori. Okay, so this was the main route, and this route is called as Cape of Good Hope Way. Cape of Good Hope Way. Okay, okay. In 1509, Alfonso de Albuquerque became the second viceroy of Portuguese in India. He conquered Goa in 1510 from Yusuf Adil Shah of Bijapur. And conquering Goa was the major victory for Portuguese, because Goa became the capital of Portuguese Empire in 1530. At that time, Nuno de Cunha was viceroy. So Goa became its capital from 1530 to 1961, because Portuguese company was the first company uh, who uh, who remained after independence, and it was the first company who arrived first in India, but went to their own country lastly. Albuquerque recruited Indians into his army and encouraged his men to marry Indian women to increase their empire. Okay, Albuquerque is said to be the de facto founder of the Portuguese Empire in India, because he recruited Indians, he conquered Goa, and during his tenure, Portuguese empire became much stronger. Okay, he also abolished sati custom. सती प्रथा को उसने ख़त्म किया, और सती प्रथा जो थी उस समय काफ़ी जगह चल रही थी, और उसने अपने लोगों को इंडियन वुमेन से मैरी करने के लिए या उनसे शादी करने के लिए भी प्रोत्साहित किया. इसीलिए अल्फोंसो डी अल्बुकर को जो है वो डी फैक्टो फाउंडर या वास्तविक जन्मदाता कहा जाता है भारत में पुर्तगाली साम्राज्य का. ओके, नेक्स्ट. With the arrival of Portuguese in India, India came to know the art of tobacco, red chili and potato farming, the establishment of printing press and shipbuilding, and the development of Gothic architecture. The first printing press in India was established in 1556 in Goa. All these questions were asked in different exams of different classes, that what we get from Portuguese, or what was the effect of Portuguese arrival in India. So Portuguese arrival in India, India came to know the art of tobacco, red chili and potato farming, Gothic architecture. We will see the picture of Gothic architecture, and the first printing press was established in Goa in 1556. Okay, so this is the Gothic architecture which I had discussed earlier. So this architecture was seen in Deep and Goa and somewhere areas, and this architecture still continues in European countries. Okay, हालांकि यदि हम देखें तो गोथिक आर्किटेक्चर जो है वो ब्रिटिश पीरियड में भी काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट रहा, और ब्रिटिश पीरियड में भी जो है वो इस आर्किटेक्चर का काफ़ी यूज़ हुआ. यदि हम दमन और गोवा के जो चर्चेस को देखें तो वहाँ आज भी हमको इस प्रकार के जो आर्किटेक्चर है वो हमें देखने को मिल रहा है. तो ये पुर्तगीज़ एम्पायर का जो भारत में आगमन था या उसका इफेक्ट था या उससे जुड़े हुए जो मेन पॉइंट्स थे वो हम लोग डिस्कस किए. अब हम लोग जो हैं वो ब्रिटिश एम्पायर को डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके, सो ब्रिटिश एम्पायर वाज John Mildenhall was the first British in 1599 who came to India by road. जॉन मिल्डनहॉल जो था वो पहला अंग्रेज था जो कि भारत में बाई रोड या सड़क मार्ग के द्वारा भारत में आया. On 31st December 1600, Queen Elizabeth first granted the license to the East India Company for 15 years. At that time, Mughal Emperor Akbar was alive, and Akbar's tenure was 1556 to 1605. Okay. Sir James Lancaster commanded the first India Company voyage in 1601 aboard the Red Dragon. So this question was asked in different exams, that the name of the ship that came to India first, that was Red Dragon, that was commanded by James Lancaster. Initially, the purpose of the company was not just the land but only trade. So, due to changing political scenario of India, these companies entered into the political system, and they made their empire, because Mughal emperors become gradually weak, and after the death of Aurangzeb, all remaining Mughal emperors became weak, and Mughal empire was slowly collapsed. The East India Company initially had 217 partners and was governed by Thomas Smith, and as an ambassador of the then ruler James I. Uh, this is the British flag, and we see that it is also called Union Jack. Okay. Captain Hawkins appeared in Jahangir court in 1608 and spoke in Persian. And Jahangir was much impressed because Captain Hawkins know how to speak Persian, and he welcomed him. Captain Hawkins came to India by a ship named Hector. So first ship that came to India, yeah, or first British ship that came to India was Red Dragon, and Captain Hawkins came to India by the ship named Hector. In 1611, the British established their first trading factories as Masulipatam, which nowadays in Andhra Pradesh, and Petapulli, and 1613. And the British established a second factory at Surat under Thomas Ellsworth. And this was the second factory in 1613 that was established in Surat. In 1615, Sir Thomas Roe came to Ajmer in the court of Emperor Jahangir as an ambassador of Emperor James I, and stayed in India for several days and obtained many business facilities and concessions for his company. So कैप्टन हॉकिंस जो काम नहीं कर पाया था वो सर थॉमस रो ने अपने प्रयासों से कोशिश करी, और 1615 से लेकर 1618 तक ये भारत में रहे, और जो कैप्टन हॉकिंस के जो भी अछोड़े हुए काम थे वो थॉमस रो ने जो है वो पूरे किए. तो थॉमस रो का जो है वो रोल देखा जाए तो ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है इन कंपैरिजन टू कैप्टन हॉकिंस. ओके, यस. In 1661, Portuguese Princess Catherine Braganza was married to Prince Charles II of England, and Bombay was given as dowry. So modern Bombay was given as dowry when Portuguese Princess Catherine Braganza married to Prince Charles II of England. In 1668, Charles II gave Bombay to the company at an annual rent of £10 per year. In 1687, the British removed the headquarters of the West Coast from Surat to Mumbai. And by 1669 to 77, Gerard Longueur, the first governor of Mumbai, and is said to be the creator of modern Mumbai. Okay, so this question was asked in different exams, that who was the creator of modern Mumbai. So Gerard Longueur became the first governor of Mumbai, and is said to be the creator of modern Mumbai. Here he built a fort called Fort St. David and established a mint. So all these points are very important for children, especially class 6 to 7th, 8th, 9th, because arrival of European companies is very important for all. Okay. In 1690, Job Charnock received the Jamidari of 3 villages, Sultanati, Kolikata and Govindpur from Ibrahim Khan, and led the foundation of modern Calcutta city. So modern Calcutta city was established in 1690 by Job Charnock, and Fort St. William was built here. Charles Eyre became the first president of Fort William, and this question was many times asked in different exams. Okay, so 3 villages. Now initially we see that its earlier name was Calcutta, which was wrongly pronunciation of Kolkata. And now at the time of communist government in West Bengal, this name was changed as Kolkata. So Fort St. William was built here, and Charles Eyre became the first president of Fort William. The English appeared in the court of Farrukhsiyar in 1717 under the leadership of John Surman, and in this group William Hamilton William Hamilton was the surgeon, and Emperor Farrukhsiyar was suffering from a serious disease that was cured by William Hamilton. And due to his service, Farrukhsiyar became very happy and granted civil rights of Bengal to the British. So this is the brief description of Portuguese and British companies in India, and these companies came to India just for trading, like spices, like cotton, like indigo. But due to the changing scenario of political system of India, these companies established their colonies. uh, we see that British Empire was about approximate 190 years, from 1757, that was Plassey War, to 1947, and they forced to uh, go outside the these companies, like Dutch, like French, like Portuguese, and they limited these companies to their some areas, like Portuguese was limited to Goa, and French was limited to the Pondicherry. So this is the brief discussion of this company, and I think you will enjoy this topic. So thank you very much.